जयं गुदीरयत्
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवतसेवया
भगवते उत्तमा श्लोके
भगवते उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी
ईश्वरा परमकृष्ण
ईश्वर
Krishna,
परमकृष्ण
सच्चिदानन्दविग्रह
Satchidananda Vigraha,
सच्चिदानन्दविग्रह
अनादिरादिर्गोविन्द
Adiradir Govinda,
गोविन्द
सर्वकारणकारणम्
Sarvakarana Karanam,
सर्वकारणकारणम्
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
Krishnaya
कृष्णाय
Vasudevaya,
वासुदेवाय
देवकीनन्दनाय च
Devaki Nandanaya Cha,
देवकीनन्दनाय च
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
Nanda Gopakumaraya,
कुमाराय
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः
Govindaya Namo
गोविन्दाय नमो
Namaha,
नमः
करारविन्दे न पदारविन्दम्
Araravinde
करारविन्दे न
Napadaravidam,
पदारविन्दम्
मुखारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तम्
Mukharavinde
करारविन्दे
Vinvishayantam,
विनिवेशयन्तम्
पुटस्य पत्र चपुटे शयानम्
Patashya
पुटस्य
Patra
पात्र
Shapute Shayanam,
चपुटे शयानम्
बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि
Balam
Mukundam
Mukundam
Manasa
Manasa
Smarami.
Smarami.
स्मरामि
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
So we are starting second paragraph of purport beginning in the 26th, first 1 and 3, correct?
Correct.
So, okay. We'll do shloka one time, then we'll go there, okay? Narada Uvacha
Narada
नारद
Uvacha
उवाच
Narada Vacha
Sa ekada maheshwaso
Sa Ekada Maheshwaso
महेश्वासो
Ekadamaheshwaso
Ratam Panchaswam Asugam
Ratam
व्रतं
Tam
पञ्चास्वम्
Panchasvam
आसुगम्
Asugam
Vishnu Dvichakram Ekaksham
Ekam
Visham
एकं
Dvichakram
द्विचक्रम्
Ekasham
एकाशम्
Trivenu Panchabandhuram
Trivenu
Trivenam
त्रिवेणं
Panchabanduram
पञ्चबन्धुरम्
Eka Rashmi Eka Damanam
Ekarasmi
एकरश्मि
Ekadamanam
Ekadamanam
एकदमनम्
Ekanidam Dvikubaram
Ekanidam
एकनिदं
Ekadabaram
Dvivaram
द्विकुबरम्
Pancha Panchapraharnam Sapta
Panchapraharanam
पञ्चप्रहरणं सप्त
Sapta
Varutam Panchavikramam
Varutam
वरुद्धं
Panchavikramam
पञ्चविक्रमम्
Aimopaksharam Aruya
Aimopaksharam
ऐमोपैमुपस्करम्
Aruya
आरुह्य
Swarna Varmakshayeshudihi
Varna Varmakshaye Shudhi
स्वर्णवर्माक्षयेषुधिः
Ekadasha Chamunataha
Ekadasha Jamunataha
एकादशचमूनाथः
Panchaprastam Agadvanam.
Panchaprastam
पञ्चप्रस्थम्
Agadvanam.
अगाद्वनम्
Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Narada continued,
The great
The
Great
sage
great
sage
sage
Narada
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 continued,
continued,
My dear king,
My
My
dear
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 king,
king,
once upon a time, King Puranjana took up his great bow
once upon a time,
once
King
upon a
Puranjana
time,
took up
King
his great
Puranjana
bow
took up his great bow
and equipped with golden armor and a quiver of unlimited arrows.
and
and
equipped
with
with
and
golden
golden
equipped with
armor and a
golden
quiver of
armor and a
unlimited
quiver of
arrows,
unlimited arrows,
arrows,
And accompanied by 11 commanders.
and
and
accompanied
and
by
accompanied by
accompanied by
11
11
commanders.
commanders.
He sat on his chariot driven by 5 swift horses
He
he
sat on
He
his
sat on
chariot
sat on
driven
his
by
chariot
5
driven
swift
by 5
horses,
swift horses
and went to the forest named Pancha Prastha.
and
and
went
went
to
to
and
the
the
went to the
forest
forest
named
named
forest
Pancha
named
Prastha.
Panchaprastha.
He took with him the chariot 2 explosive arrows.
He
He
took
took
with
with
Took
him
with
in
him
them
that
in that
chariot two
chariot 2
explosive
explosive
arrows.
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 The chariot itself was situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle.
The
The
chariot itself was
Chariot
situated
itself
on 2
was
wheels and
situated
1
on 2
revolving
wheels and
axle.
1
revolving
revolving
axle.
axle.
On the chariot there were 3 flags.
On
In
the
the
chariot,
chariot
The
were
chariot, there were
3
3
flags.
flags.
1 rein, 1 chariot driver, 1 sitting place.
one
1
rain,
rein, 1
One
one
rein,
chariot
chariot
one
driver, 1
driver,
chariot
sitting
driver, 1
place.
sitting place.
2 poles to which the harness was fixed.
2
2 poles
poles
to
to
Two
which
which
the
poles to which
harness
the
was
harness was
fixed.
fixed.
5 weapons and 7 coverings.
5
5
weapons and
weapons and
7
7
coverings.
coverings.
7 coverings.
The chariot moved in 5 different styles,
The
The
chariot
chariot
The
moved in
chariot
5
moved in
different
5
styles,
different styles.
and 5 obstacles lay before it.
and
and
5
5
obstacles lay
5
obstacles lay
before it.
obstacles
before
lay
it.
before it.
All the decorations of the chariot were made of gold.
All
All
the
the
decorations of
All the
the
chariot
chariot were
decorations of the
made of
chariot
gold.
are made of gold.
Nice, thank you. Okay. You will just start freshly. Manuru, we can start first.
Prabhuji, can we take up that picture once, Prabhu, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Let's. Yeah. Let's go to the picture. I already
Ravi,
went
Prabhu,
through.
can you pull up the picture, please? That in the
I already went through
no,
to.
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Go to that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam WhatsApp group. There, nicely it is
Yeah.
mentioned what is the controller, who is the chariot.
Chariot, passenger, reins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
in Gatha?
Yeah, pull up this picture.
It's very nicely explained here. I went through.
Yeah.
Any questions? This is very clear message here. Any questions?
So, Prabhuji, my question is here. Everything is very nicely explained, but now Lord Krishna is holding the reins, right? Right?
In the chariot, it says Krishna, witness, super soul, chariot, charioteer, right?
Correct. He's holding the reins, right?
Right.
Now, when he's holding the reins, it means what? It is holding the reins as a form of super soul. What should we understand,
Yes,
Prabhu?
correct. He is holding the form of super soul. So basically, what I understand, everything else is clear. Chariot is a body, passenger is a soul, reins mind, okay, and 5 horses senses, and Krishna is a super soul witness, right? We all know that witness, and also is a chariot. Is the same thing, right? He is a witness and also is a charioteer. Am I correct?
Right.
Right.
Means he's the driver.
So he's a driver. So basically, this here chariot. What is the question, Prabhuji?
So question is, Prabhu, see, our soul, we are not controlling. Is Krishna controlling? That's what the message goes.
Krishna controls 90%, 99% of it. 1% free will, we use it. Right? For example, the whatever happens in our lives, right? 99% is controlled by Krishna. 1%, which is free will given to us.
Okay.
That free will would determine what everything else. You all know that. I don't have to repeat again.
Yeah.
So Krishna, this horse, senses, etc., 99% controlled by him, but 1%, which is called free will, that is what the individual soul's independence. That 1% of independence would be the reason for us to come back again and again and entangle in the material world. Does it make any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, Prabhu, definitely. So it means whether he's a devotee or non-devotee,
Yeah.
the one who is a devotee, that 1%, he will let it go nicely with Krishna's.
He will use for Krishna
Krishna.
service.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Ravi Prabhu, is that clear, Ravi Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Because Ravi Prabhu is intellectual, so I just want to be careful with him. Right? Ravi
Yes,
Prabhu?
Prabhuji, that was true. No, that is not true, Prabhuji.
Which is not true, 1% is not true.
No, that I'm intelligent.
Okay. Just kidding. Take it easy. Yeah. So it's clear, right, everyone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prabhupada. Now we can go to the verse.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that one. Yeah, I did some analysis today morning. This Friday, my wife goes for service, right? He gets up and puts all the lights, and I'm yelling at her, now you go to service and you wake me up as well. Friday, Tuesday, Sunday, I'm really having, I need to sleep.
1%. She's utilizing 1%, Prabhu. Nothing else. We are not able to utilize.
What?
He's utilizing 1%. We are not able to.
I know. And evenings, my gosh. Anyway, okay. What is it called? Yeah, let's go back to this one. Sorry.
Purport by His Divine Grace Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. These three verses explain how the material body of the living entity is under the control of the three qualities of the external energy. The body itself is the chariot, and the living entity is the owner of the body, as explained in Bhagavad Gita 2.13. Dehino asmin yata dehe. The owner of the body is called Dehi, and he is situated within this body, specifically within the heart. The living entity is driven by one chariot driver. The chariot itself is made of three gunas, the three qualities of material nature, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18.61. Yantra Rudani Mayaya. The word yantra means carriage. The body is given by material nature. The driver of that body is Paramatma, the super soul. The living entity is seated within the chariot. This is the actual position. Hare Krishna. So here Prabhupada is describing the three verses, through the three verses, how the material body is under the control of three qualities of the external energy. And the body is the chariot, the living entity is the owner of the body, and the and it's also called as Dehi, because he's situated within the body, especially within the heart. The living entity is driven by one chariot driver, and the chariot itself is made of the three gunas of material nature. And the word yantra in this Bhagavad Gita quote means carriage. The body is given by material nature, and the driver of that body is the super soul, Paramatma. And the living entity is situated within the chariot, which is the actual position.
Excellent. That's true. So the chariot represents the body. That means this body, our body is a material. We all know that, right? Body is a material. Material means that made of three modes of passion, goodness, and ignorance. And when this body born into ashes, it mixes with the Panchabhutas because it's a part of the material nature. But in fact, we are not a product of the material nature. We are a spiritual nature by. But then use that intelligence to understand that I am not the product of material. I'm not this body, I'm the soul, right? That is the verb. I am not this body, I'm the soul. If you are the soul, then you have to act on that platform. And this body charity is just a cage that would help the soul to direct to its destination. But this body is a product of the material nature. So we should all understand that once. But we don't identify with that. That is a trick. We don't identify I'm the product of the material nature. Yes, I have this body, Deha is given. I will utilize this Deha as a mode of vehicle to transport the driver, the soul which is present to the proper destination by applying intelligence and all those things. Okay? Did I confuse enough or is good?
No, Prabhu, we're clear.
Okay. Yeah, this takes time to soak in the mind also. So if you don't understand, even I don't understand now also. So Again, I'm not saying I'm a what you call this one standard, but every person has their own way of understanding things.
No,
Okay.
only the first paragraph, Prabhu. One difference is this statement is that this chariot itself is made of 3 gunas, right? That picture doesn't represent that, but but we understand that the body is made of 3 gunas.
Yeah, definitely. Because anything material is made of gunas.
Yes.
Matter means gunas. Okay. Ravi Prabhu, you want to take few lines, please?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Correct.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
The living entity is always being influenced by the 3 qualities: sattva, goodness; rajas, passion; and tamas, ignorance. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.13. Tribhir guna mayer bhavahe. The living entity is bewildered by the 3 qualities of material nature. These 3 qualities are described in this verse as 3 flags. By a flag, one can come to know who the owner of the chariot is. Similarly, by the influence of the 3 qualities of material nature, one can easily know the direction in which the chariot is moving. In other words, one who has eyes to see can understand how the body is being driven, influenced by the particular type of quality of material nature. Let's stop here. So, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here that the living entity is influenced by the three modes, that is sattva, rajas, and tamas. And also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the living entity is bewildered by these 3 modes, the 3 qualities of material nature. Right? And these 3 qualities are described here as 3 flags. So by a flag, one can come to know who the owner of the chariot is. And similarly, the influence of the 3 qualities of material nature, one can understand that one can easily know the direction in which the chariot is moving. I need to understand this more in detail.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
thank you.
But if you are you're too much in the mode of goodness, you know that I am going towards bhakti. You're too much in the mode of passion, you know that, okay, I'm not going in the right direction. Okay, I'm in the mode of ignorance, I'm not in the right direction. So you get to, once you perceive that, you immediately change your direction. No, I should not do this. I should not do this. I should be involved more in bhakti. So that perception comes to you, right? Yes, if the proper one who has eyes to see and understand how body is being driven, influenced by a particular type of quality of material nature, right? For example, if you are involved, you can perceive that with the intelligence. So, I should not do this act because Prabhupada, I'm reading Prabhupada's literature, like 4 don't do's. So when 4 don't do's, you're trying to do one of them, then immediately you understand, oh, I should not do this one. So you're driving your body in the right direction. Little Prabhupada explains here. In other words, one who has eyes to see, means if you have intelligence to see how the body is being driven, influenced by the particular type of quality of material. Am I involved too much in my materialism and mode of ignorance, or am I involved in mode of passion? So we need to judge ourselves with intelligence and accordingly adjust. That is clear, Ravi Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, but by personal experience, it's very difficult to
So that's why you take
move from
association.
one mode to another mode.
That's why you take association. You involve in the group of people and read the literature and apply intelligence properly.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, clear.
We are done, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for explaining.
Let me go to who is there. Bala Prabhuji can finish it off, please. That paragraph.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Purport by Bhaktivedanta Sri Prabhupada ki jai. In these 3 verses, the activity of the living entity is described to prove how the body becomes influenced by the quality of ignorance, even when the person wants to be religious. Narad Muni wanted to prove to the king Prachina
Prachina Barihas. Yeah.
Parishad, that the king was being influenced by the tamoguna, the quality of ignorance, even though the king was supposed to be very religious. Should I continue, Prabhu? According to Karma Kandya, the process of fruitive activities, a person performs various sacrifices directed by the Vedas, and in all those sacrifices, animal killing or experimenting on the life of animals to test the power of Vedic mantras is enjoined. Animal killing is certainly conducted under the influence of the mode of ignorance. Even though one may be religiously inclined, animal sacrifice recommended in the Shastras, not only in the Vedas but even in the modern scriptures of other sects. These animal
I
sacrifices
think
are recommended.
Okay, go ahead.
These animal sacrifices are recommended in the name of religion, but actually animal sacrifice is meant for persons in the mode of ignorance. When such people kill animals, they can at least do so in the name of religion. However, when the religious system is transcendental, like the Vaishnava religion, there is no place for animal sacrifice. Such a transcendental religious system is recommended by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 18.66. So,
It's a lot of information. Yeah, just stop there. And also, when somebody is reading, finish that paragraph. Right? Probably you could have done next few lines of that paragraph, because each paragraph gives some information.
Yeah,
So
sure.
don't stop in between, because Prabhupada then concludes what that paragraph is saying also in the last few lines. Okay, next time like that.
Sure, Ruchi. I'll be mindful. Yeah.
so
Bhagavatam, go ahead.
basically, Prabhupada is saying that in these three verses, the living in Prabhupada is trying to prove to King Prachina Parishad that the king was influenced by Tamaguna, a total quality of influence, even though he was trying to be very religious. And according to Karma Kandya, the process of fruitive activities, a person tries various sacrifices direct by the Vedas, Shastras, and all these things, and is trying doing animal killing. And so they're trying to experiment with the life of the animals to test the power of the Vedic mantras. And these Vedas and Shastras, they recommend animal killing or sacrifice. So but the modern scriptures and other sects also allow for animal killings. But the transcendental system or the Vaishnava religion does not allow for animal sacrifice. And such transcendental religion is recommended by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So essentially, Prabhupada is saying that people in Tamaguna in the name of religion are doing animal sacrifice, and it's either for in the name of the religion or to experiment with them or try to see what happens, whether they by killing animals they will get something, and so various things that they do. But the animal killing is going on in under various guises of either religion or Vedas or Shastras or other religions also doing. But in the transcendental system of religion, Vaishnava religion, there is no place for animal sacrifice.
Yeah, I think animal sacrifice was recommended in which yuga? In the Treta Yuga. In the Treta Yuga, the predominant deity worship was basically the sacrifices, yajnas. So when do yajna, they used to give cow as a sacrifice for the yajna that was elevated to the human form of life, because you're doing the right purpose. But taking that as an excuse for the sense gratification is the cause for the binding. Like that is the one of the things we are not supposed to do for the sense gratification. Oh, because in Vedas it is said, based on the time, place, circumstances, the yajnas are performed in Treta Yuga, that was recommended, right? But people here in this Kali Yuga, that for the own sense enjoyment, killing animals is completely prohibited, and that would have the reactions. That's what was explaining beautifully here. Okay, we should read the Shastra scrutinizingly and apply accordingly. That's how it is. Even such people kill animals, they can Okay, they can at least do in so in the name of religion. However, when the religious system is transcendental, like Vaishnava, there is no place for the animal sacrifice. Okay. Vishaka Mataji wanted to take next shloka and translation, Mataji.
Yes,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Sridhar. Everybody knows this famous shloka, right? Yeah.
Yes. Such purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Such a transcendental religious system is recommended by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Sarva dharma paritagya
No, not but Sarvadharman Parityajya
Sarva dharman paritagya
Parityaja
Mamekam Sharanam Raja
Mamekam Sharanam Raja
Am Tvam Sarva Papebhyo
Tam Tvam Sarva Papebhyo
Mokshayashyami Ma Shuchaha.
Mokshayashyami Ma Sucha.
You can read the translation, Mataji.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Because King Parchin Bharisat
Prachina Parihasat.
Prachina Bharisat was engaged in performing various sacrifices in which animals were killed, Narad Muni pointed out that such sacrifices are influenced by the mode of ignorance. From the very beginning of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, first chapter, second verse, it is said, Dharma prajohita kaita
Dharma Projita Kaitava.
Dharma projitah kaitava tra. All kinds of religious systems that are involved in cheating are completely kicked out of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Dharma, the religion dealing with one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, animal sacrifice is not recommended. In the performance of Sankirtan Yagna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There is no recommendation for animal sacrifices. So here, Prabhupada ji is explaining that how animal sacrifice is not a part is not a part of Vaishnav religion, and there is no place for animal sacrifice. Even explained in the famous shlok in Bhagavad Gita that we need to abandon all variety of religion and just surrender on the lotus feet of Krishna. That is how he will deliver us from all sinful reaction. And also Prabhupada ji is also explaining that this is from the very beginning. It is also explained in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the very first canto, very first chapter, that all kind of religions are involved that are involved in cheating are completely not included in the Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Dharma. So basically in the Bhagavad Dharma our relationship is with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore animal sacrifice is not a part of it. And also in our Sankirtan movement, the Maha Mantra, there is no animal sacrifice involved.
Jagadish Rao, you are ready to read? Okay, if not, let's see who is there. Suman Mataji can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvitana Malvishta Srila Prabhupada, translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In these three verses, King Puranjana's going to the forest to kill animals by symbolic of the living entities being driven by the mode of ignorance and thus engaging in the different activities for sense gratification. The material body itself indicates that the living entity is already influenced by the three modes of material nature, and that he is driven to enjoy material resources. When the body is influenced by the mode of ignorance, its infection becomes very acute. When it is influenced by the mode of passion, the infection is at the symptomatic stage. However, when the body is influenced by the mode of goodness, the materialistic infection becomes purified. The ritualistic ceremonies recommended in religious system are certainly on the platform of goodness, but because within this material world, even the mode of goodness is sometimes polluted by other qualities, namely passion and ignorance. A man in goodness is sometimes driven by the influence of ignorance. So, in this purport, Prabhupada ji is explaining about the three modes of gunas, how they work, and how it get affected. Like when the body is influenced in the mode of ignorance, they are called acute. The infection becomes
Acute means too much.
too
Acute.
Yeah.
Acute that means very heavy, like somebody has acute disease, like cancer, dying. That's called acute.
much. And
Yeah.
when it is influenced by the mode of passion, the infection is at the symptomatic stage. Means the symptoms will be shown like that. Is it that, Prabhuji? Hmm.
Yeah.
And when the body is influenced by the mode of goodness, the materialistic infection becomes purified. But Prabhupada is telling that even the mode of goodness is also not the platform. Means in the religious system, the on the platform of goodness, because within the material world even the mode of goodness is sometimes polluted by the other qualities. So it's the mixture of three gunas. A man acts on a mixture of three gunas. So passion and ignorance, a man is in goodness is sometimes driven by the influence of ignorance. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's very clear message.
So,
It's
Prabhu,
always, it's always combination of three. Devotees who accept the spirituality, then we have mode of goodness majority, but still we have passion ignorance as well. Not that we're completely out of those. So it varies day by day. It's a fluctuates. Yeah, Prabhuji, what's the question?
so Prabhu, the last statement, it does that means, right, this mode of goodness, right? They are also they can be in the mode of ignorance, right? So
Yeah,
it is like this only. Bill Gates, they donate so much. They are in mode of goodness, but they are in ignorance because they are not praying to Krishna.
Why we would build it? Take example of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We very day in a day. If you put a graph or any to and see how much time of 24 hours or at least 12 hours, how much goodness we possess, how much passion we possess, how much ignorance we possess. So it's all act. Yeah, definitely. Those are the rich people examples. Even devotees also we have still same problems. We are not completely out
Correct.
of this, right? Yeah.
But Prabhu, what I'm trying to give message is they are
Hmm.
always doing goodness work, but they are not even getting inclined to do more. They are not getting over goodness, right? They are always in goodness only. What I'm trying to say. That's what.
Okay. No
But we
problem. Thank
are attempting to go beyond goodness. Nothing else, Prabhu.
you. Right. Absolutely. Okay. So let's see. Mr. Mataji, are you ready to read? In the mute.
Background noise, Prabhuji.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Thank you. Okay. So looks like everybody is done, right?
So, Prabhu, I should read.
Oh yeah. Sorry. How can I
Purport by
forget?
Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
It is herein described that King Puranjana once went to the forest to kill animals. This means that he, the living entity, came under the influence of the mode of ignorance. The forest in which King Puranjana engaged in hunting was named Panchaprastha. The word
Panchaprastha, not Pancha. Panchaprastha.
Panchaprastha. The word Pancha means five, and this indicates the objects of the five senses. The body has five working senses, namely the hands, the legs, the tongue, the rectum, and the genitals. By taking full advantage of these working senses, the body enjoys material life. The chariot is driven by five horses, which represents the five sense organs, namely the eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. These sense organs are very easily attracted by the sense objects. Consequently, the horses are described as moving swiftly. On the chariot, King Puranjana kept two explosive weapons, which may be compared to ahankara or false ego. This false ego is typed by two attitudes. I am
Typified by two attitudes.
by two attitudes. I am this body, ahanta, and everything is my bodily relationship belongs to me, mamata. Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada ji is explaining that about King Puranjana who went to forest and to kill animals and he was in the mode of ignorance. So Prabhupada is mentioning, and the name of the forest is Panchaprastha, where Pancha means basically five senses, which indicates the objects of five senses. And these five senses, based on these five senses, working senses here, not knowledge senses, working senses, he is always happy taking this help of these five working senses. And Prabhupada is comparing to the chariot now, where where he is saying that based on this knowledge acquiring senses, eyes, ears, nose, skin, and so he is attracted. Senses are always attracted, and then horse is basically moving swiftly. And on this chariot, there are two other explosive things which Prabhupada is explaining that one is called ahankara, and this again, this ahankara has two attitude, typified. Why I don't know, typified by two attitudes. I am body, and this basically body.
Ahankara and Mamakara both. The
What is
Ahankara divided into two categories, Ahanta and Mamata. I am this body and everything in body relationships, Mamata. The moment I identify the body, Mamata grows up. Oh, this is mine, that is mine. So that's how. So as I said, Ahankara, false ego is what? I am this body. I was explaining right in the before. When Krishna is controlling everything, what is our role? That 1%. That 1% identify with the body with the Ahankara. I am this body. And that Ahankara divided two parts here. One is Ahanta. I am this body, and everything is belongs to this body called Mamata. These two.
then what is the second one, Prabhu? Second one is what?
Mamata. You see, there is a.
No. If you see on the chariot, Puranjana had two explosive weapons. So one explosive weapon is false ego is explained. What is the second one?
Hold on. I read again this one.
The last three statements on the chariot.
Maybe in the next paragraph, we'll see.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Ahankara, Ahanta, and Mamata. Okay, I think we'll be dropped off any second now. Rest will
We have
take.
to ourselves drop, Prabhu. We should be drop. We should ourselves drop. 6:55.
Okay. See you then tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.